when this statement gets executed using this exec statement, SQL generates an error. But because we added quote name function or replace function to mitigate first order SQL injection issues, what we basically did here is, earlier the command got truncated after AND operator. Even if I wanted to truncate it before, I didn't have the ability. But now, because we added quote name function, there is something that we can do. If somebody passes single quotes, quote name is going to double them up, right? So because of that, now we have the ability to truncate the command not after AND operator. We have the ability to truncate the command even before. In this example, like if I want to truncate the command somewhere, I would truncate right after where username equals to username, some username. That way, I can set the password of any user without knowing its current password, without knowing his password. So in this particular example, if I really want to do that, if you count the number of characters that's consumed by update users set password equals to, that expression consumes 26 characters, and space where username equals to it consumes 16 characters. Let's say we know the existence of any user account in the app. Let's say we know the existence of administrator account in the app. Because quote name is going to add the delimiters in the beginning and in the end, so single quote, administrator, single quote, it consumes 15 characters. Now we need 100 minus 26 minus 16 minus 15, 43 characters, so that we could truncate the command right after where username equals to class. So, but you can only pass 25 characters as the new password. How do you get around? I mean, but you need 43 characters to truncate the command. How do you get around that? By using single quotes. Because if I pass single quotes, quote name is going to double them up for me. So pass some single quotes so that quote name returns more characters than 25 characters. So in this particular example, because it's a password, people might be checking for password complexity rules. Just pass like 18 single quotes and a bunch of other characters so that you will get past those rules. So here, if I pass like 18 single quotes and 5 other characters, quote name is going to add the beginning delimiter and ending delimiter. That way I can truncate the command right after where username equals to administrator. So, any questions on this issue? What happens if somebody uses replace function instead of quote name function? Can we exploit it now? The only difference between the previous code and this code is, in this code, developer has explicitly added the delimiters. In the previous code, quote name adds the delimiters. So there's no difference between the previous code and this code. So I can pass the same data as I passed before and truncate the command. So that's the first issue. Like you can modify the developer intended SQL statement by truncating the command. How do you mitigate them? Calculate the buffer length properly. So in this case, because new variable is declared as 25 characters, quote name is going to return 52 characters when all the characters in the variable are in the parameter are single quotes. So you need 26 for update users expression, 52 here, 16 here, 52 here, 16 more here, and 52 more here. So you need at least 214. Because it's a varchar, you don't have any problem in declaring more than that. So avoid buffers if possible. Again, you don't need to have a separate variable for storing the command. You can directly execute within exec statement. Sorry. Or use parameterized SQL statement. You can use sp underscore execute SQL in Microsoft SQL Server to use parameterized queries. Or you don't need to construct dynamic SQL for DML statements. That's why, like, for most of the applications code that you write, you don't write dynamic SQL. I'm just using T-SQL code here so that just for demonstration purpose. Let's take a look at one more variant of the same problem. I have the same code, just like before. I have sp underscore set password, which takes 3 arguments. But here, the only difference is I have 3 more local variables, which are quoted underscore username varchar25, quoted underscore old password varchar25, quoted underscore new password. But here, I have enough buffer in my command variable. And what I'm doing here is I'm storing the code name, the written value from code name in these new variables. This is one more variant of the same problem that I've seen. So, but you have enough buffer here in command variable. Can you exploit this one? What's the problem with this code? The truncation doesn't happen here, but the truncation happens here. So what happens if you pass 25 characters? Code name is going to add a beginning delimiter, and then it's going to, there will be 24 more characters followed by a single quote. But because this variable can only hold 25 characters, the last 2 characters will be truncated. So what you will end up having is single quote followed by 24 characters, because the last 2 characters will be truncated. So what happens in that scenario? Your statement becomes update space users set password equals to, this will have a beginning delimiter, beginning single quote followed by 24 characters. Because we don't have a ending delimiter, we'll have space where username equals to, and this quoted username will have the delimiter. So the entire stuff becomes the new password. So the statement becomes update users set password equals to single quote 24 characters space where space username equals to followed by a single quote. That becomes the password, and then you have the ability to inject SQL code using the username. That's exactly what I explained here. So if you look at the command, update users set password equals to 123n space where space username equals to, this quoted username will have a beginning delimiter, so this entire stuff becomes the new password, and you have the ability to inject SQL code using username. You can calculate the buffers and mitigate it. Okay. What happens if I use code name instead of, what happens if I use replace instead of code name? Here the developer is, actually he is explicitly adding the delimiters. What's the problem? We have the same problem just like before. We have these variables declared as varchar25s, and we are storing the written values from the replace function here. So can we exploit this one? The only difference between the previous one and this one is here there are hard-coded delimiters, single quotes in the beginning and in the end. Just like before, if you pass like 25 characters, replace function is not going to change anything. So the trick here is to make sure that the ending delimiter becomes part of your new password. How do you make that happen? If you pass single quote as the 25th character, replace function is going to double them up. So your 26th character also becomes single quote. But because this variable can only hold 25 characters, the 26th character gets truncated. So whatever you pass, it comes across as the same thing. So you'll have 24 valid characters followed by a single quote. So that way, your statement will become update users set password equals to single quote, 24 characters, single quote, there'll be this single quote. So then it becomes as part of this new password. So that's exactly update users set password equals to single quote. This is the data that we passed, and the second single quote is the one that's hard-coded by the developer. Space where space username equals to. This entire stuff becomes your new password, and just like before, you have the ability to inject SQL code using the username field. So in this case, basically you have the ability to inject SQL code by truncating the command, by truncating the variables. How do you mitigate it? Calculate the buffers probably just like before. If you look at the nature of these problems are not specific to T-SQL code. In fact, in MS SQL Server, these problems are not actually serious in T-SQL code, but if you have any applications written in C and C++ code, that's where the real threat will be. So I have the same code, but in C here. So dword, change pass, I have the same functionality here, change password, which takes 3 arguments, username, old password, new password. And I have 3 cat star pointers here. Let's say I'm calculating the buffer length properly. So if the length of the passed in parameters is n, let's say I'm allocating to n plus 1. I have a string cch printf, which is equivalent, which is the safe version of sprintf. This guarantees that you don't have any buffer overruns, and so. But if you see here, SQL command can only hold 100 characters, just like our T-SQL code example. So, just like before, the truncation is going to happen in this SQL statement. How do you mitigate it? By checking the written values in this particular example. You can still, I mean, you can fix it by calculating the buffers. At least if you had checked for the written values, you can catch them. This is the C equivalent of the SQL injection by truncation example that we have seen before. I have 3 local variables which do not have enough buffer. If you see here 26, 26, which are hard coded. And then this code is not checking for the written values from the replace function, and it's also not checking the written value from the string printf. How do you mitigate it? Just check the written values. So there are 2 issues that we discussed: SQL modification by truncation and SQL injection by truncation. SQL modification by truncation happens by truncating the SQL command buffer, and SQL injection by truncation happens by truncating the variables. And truncation issues are not specific to T-SQL. You can find them even in the apps written in C and C++. When we first identified this problem in T-SQL, we actually wanted to generate the error. But there were some reasons why we couldn't fix it. For most of the apps that need to use DML statements, you don't need to construct dynamic SQL. And in SQL Server, by default, when you execute a store proc, it gets executed under your context, by the caller context. So even if a store proc has a SQL injection issue, if you try to exploit it, you only get to execute the code under your context. Because there is no context switch, there's no, those are definitely bugs, but they won't result in security issues. The third one is this behavior has been like this since the beginning. So we were worried about backward compatibility. For example, there are some more scenarios where, let's say you escape the variables in one store proc, but you pass that to a different store proc, which, for example, let's say you have 100 characters here, but the other store proc only accepts 25 characters. The truncation can happen even in those scenarios. So, but we'll be fixing them mostly in the second one, in the next versions of SQL Server. As I said before, anywhere you write dynamic SQL code in T-SQL or C++ applications, you'll have these issues. You might have these issues. Finding SQL injection issues, I generally rely on code reviews. So I identify all the APIs that are used to execute dynamic SQL statements. I review the construction of dynamic SQL and review the buffers that are used in the dynamic SQL. How do you mitigate them? Call quote name or replace function directly inside the command, or calculate the buffer lengths properly, and in C and C++, check the written values.